In May of 2018, Kellerland Investigates reported on the Skyline Healthcare debacle. The company, which had taken over 19 South Dakota nursing homes just the year before, put 900 seniors at risk after it couldn't pay its bills or its employees. The homes were placed into receivership, and a new owner, Avantera, took over this past July. And while the immediate threat to nursing home residents was averted, the fallout from the Skyline continues today. Kellerland's Angela Kennedy shows you how the company took nursing home employees' money for insurance premiums, but never put it towards insurance.
Charles Johnson worked as a director of rehab for 15 years in nursing homes before becoming the administrator of the Golden Living Center in Arlington. Skyline Healthcare took over Golden Living Centers in South Dakota in 2017.
My first 2 years of being a nursing home administrator were in an environment under Skyline. Baptized by fire.
Just a few months into the job, vendors began calling, demanding payments for food and medical supplies.
It's a little unnerving when you're responsible for the health and welfare of the residents that are in your building, and you have the family's expectations that everything's fine, so you have to do a lot of things behind the scenes to make sure that's happening.
Johnson couldn't help but wonder what Skyline was doing with the money. You're seeing the money come in, but the bills aren't being paid.
Correct.
Do you have any idea where that money went?
No.
To this day?
We were never told, no.
Johnson was relieved when the 19 South Dakota Skyline homes were placed into receivership and Golden Living took back control of the buildings it still owned. However, then came the next big whammy.
It was discovered that Skyline hadn't paid the self-funded insurance plan for about 6 months. Deductions were taken out of the employees' paychecks and weren't applied to the premium.
Is that fraud?
I think so. I think it could be considered fraud, or could it be considered theft?
I felt that we were victims. It should be a crime.
We reached Teresa Dante, who now lives in Georgia, by phone. The former cook at the Redfield Care and Rehab Center discovered she didn't have insurance despite the fact she'd been paying the premiums.
I had an allergic reaction, and when I went to a doctor, he threw the insurance card at me. I mean, he said to me, "You people, I'm sick of you people." He's like, "You guys don't have insurance. You have little plastic cards." He's like, "If you want to come here for an appointment, you have to pay everything up front full before you walk through the door. You do not have insurance."
Dante says she was lucky and only had to cover a few $100s worth of medical bills. But Johnson was not as fortunate. Both he and his wife, who was also on Skyline's insurance plan, had undergone surgery with prior authorization from American Plan administrators. They were notified by this letter from the Brookings Health System that due to the recent and ongoing legal issues surrounding the bankruptcy of Skyline Healthcare, your accounts with Brookings Health System have not been paid according to your benefit plan. Money had been taken out of your check. You think that your surgery is covered.
Yes.
And it's not.
Yes.
And you're stuck with a bill for how much?
Between $20,000 and $30,000.
That's right. The Johnson family medical bills alone reached nearly $30,000.
They're taking money that we think is going to an insurance policy or our premium, and they're allowing us to get these services, and then at the end of the day, none of it was covered.
This does happen. It happens with other employers. Generally, they're employers that are financially in trouble, and they end up taking premiums that they take out of employees' paychecks, and they're supposed to deposit it either into a trust account or pay it over to the insurance provider as soon as administratively possible. That's what the law is.
Johnson and Dante have both filed complaints with the U.S. Department of Labor. Johnson received this letter back saying that the formal review process can be very lengthy and that specific steps or findings during the review process cannot be publicly disclosed.
That's what makes this a little complicated, is what direction do we go? What can we do until this investigation is done and they have some sort of answers?
Bender says the answers, even in court, are tough to come by.
Courts who have looked at these kinds of situations where there's a troubled employer and he hasn't paid premiums like he was supposed to, or he absconded with premiums, what they typically find under ERISA is that the only damages, if they can find some money somewhere, which is generally the biggest obstacle. But if they can, really all that employee can get back is the insurance premiums.
Today, Skyline owner Joseph Schwartz is facing more than a dozen lawsuits in several states. In June, Massachusetts Attorney General fined Skyline nearly $85,000 for failing to pay more than 100 nursing home workers. Kansas is suing the Schwartz family in federal court, accusing them of deliberately siphoning cash from the nursing homes as part of a nationwide scheme to defraud the nursing home residents and employees. That lawsuit alleges that Skyline did the same thing in Kansas that it did in South Dakota by withholding money from employees' paychecks for health insurance and not paying premiums. Kansas now requires a lot more financial information from people who apply for licenses to operate nursing homes in that state after it had to take over more than a dozen of Skyline homes. KELOLAND Investigates checked with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and found that Schwartz and his family still own dozens of nursing homes across the country.
Next wave of victims is coming. I applaud you for staying on this case, and I hope that we can stop that from happening.
Joseph Schwartz currently faces no criminal charges.
You can't get mad about it, or you can't walk around mad about it. I mean, you know, life goes on, and you just try to put your faith that entities that are involved in the investigation are going to do their job and be able to take care of this in the long run.
I requested on-camera interviews from several South Dakota state agencies on this matter, but was turned down by the Department of Health, the Division of Insurance, and the Department of Labor. The Department of Health did tell me via email that South Dakota has not implemented any changes to state laws regarding changes in ownership or operation of nursing homes like Kansas has. They also referred me to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS. CMS told us it has limited authority to intervene when a facility is struggling financially and does not have the authority to close a facility. My repeated phone calls to Skyline Health were not returned.